Hi everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health vidcast. This is of course the video game reviews. This is kind of my rapid fire doing these next two games here. Let's go ahead and start this. The first game I'm going to talk about here is going to be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Not really a big racing game fan. I mean, if anything, I have the Project Gotham Racing for when I got the Messenger Pack, and I play that a lot. But I will, of course, if anybody asks me a racing game, I will tell them play Forza 3. That's kind of still the pinnacle of racing games, and even after playing this, it still is. But Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is still a fun game. It's very much almost along the lines, if you like the Burnout games, like the Takedown one, and not Paradise so much, if you like tracked and solid racing courses, this is your game. And of course, you basically get to play kind of cops, and you also get to play as the street racers. You can kind of do two different things, which is nice. But really much enjoyed this game. I like racing games to a point that aren't too simish. I haven't gotten to Gran Turismo 5 yet. I did enjoy playing Hot Pursuit. It definitely has speed and everything. It has really nice visuals, really good looking cars. The music, in-game music, the license tracks, I didn't dig that much, and I bumped all the way down. But the dramatic chase music, like when you're a cop chasing after somebody, it'll play like a nice dramatic music score. That was really cool, like a chase music, and I definitely enjoyed that. The cool thing about this game too is as you play and you unlock cars, when you are selecting paint or looking at a car, it'll give you like a brief history of that car or its type of specs and whatnot. It has this nice like voice, this chick's voice that will kind of narrate it. And I enjoyed that immensely. Every time I got a new car, I would constantly, listen to basically its little paragraph description of that car, and I would learn stuff about the car. And it was just nice to kind of hear the backstory of it and whatnot. Oddly enough, though, every time she talked about each car, and it's description, and it's like certain things that make it better than other cars or just made it good. It made her sound like every single car was the best car ever made, and that's really cool. It's nice that they did that. They didn't like degrade any cars and whatnot. But really much enjoy the game. You also get to kind of use different special kind of weapons or attacks or abilities. In which case, I like the cops. You call them roadblocks and spike strips and whatnot. That was kind of cool. And helicopters. I will mention some issues that I did have with it. Is like if you have a roadblock and let's say you're a cop and you're chasing after racers and they stop at the roadblock, but they get 100% stopped or they'll crash, they automatically kind of pop off the map and then park back on the track. Just kind of like if you 100% crash, you'll see the crash happen and then it'll put you back on the track. It would do that with the racers too, and I found that kind of annoying because it would, I would like to be able to just, hey, if they're stopped, the people at the roadblock should stop the racers, or I should be able to hit them, but they'll just stay there for a couple seconds and pop back on the track racing. Little nuance, not that big of a deal. I did like the game does get challenging, and as you unlock more cars, it gets sort of easier. But I did like that no matter what, some of the races, you have some one-on-ones where you have to chase down a racer, they get real kind of squirrely, in which case you'll be chasing them around and they'll do U-turns, or they'll go off a beaten path, or they'll drop their own weapons. And the cool thing is, like, even if you lose that or you crash or something, if you try that thing again, they're not scripted. They'll do something completely different. They'll do different left turns or right turns or U-turns. It's hard to kind of program that. I like that. I like that kind of, just that variance and that challenge for doing some of these pursuits. But I really much enjoyed the game. I definitely recommend it to people. Really don't know what else to say about it. Just really much enjoyed it. If you're looking for like a new racer, this is definitely fun. And it has also this, I forgot what they call it, but they have this mode where basically it keeps track of all your progress. Like every single time you do on a map, what cars you play. So if you have other friends that play the game, you see what they're doing, and you can kind of like on your wall, and it's kind of like a miniature internal Facebook. So you can kind of see what they're doing. You can try to beat their races and challenges. Unfortunately, none of my friends have the game and whatnot. But if they ever play it, they'll see all my races, and it'll give you one-shot options to just see their races and automatically try to beat their times and go against their ghosts, which is really cool. Anywho, let me move on to the next game here, which is going to be Tron Evolution. Now, playing Tron Evolution, for some reason, I didn't really know what I was going in for. This was the last game on my Gamefly queue and kind of last new game of this season that I was looking forward to because I do plan on watching the movie. Or do I? Playing this game, man, was I disheartened. The visuals are okay. Voice acting is okay. For some reason, I found the whole overall soundscape, the music seemed to be very loud. Like the ambient music seemed to drown out everything, no matter how you set it up. And like footsteps and attacks were kind of just muffled and light, which I found kind of just disorientating. What I didn't really realize is that this game is, as you can see here, is a very, very much a platformer. In which case, I didn't really understand that. And unfortunately, unlike this video you're probably watching right here, I failed a lot of these jumps because I couldn't nail the platforming. The problem is this game has a fixed camera angle, and its platforming controls just seem off. It's just very weird. It's almost like a mixture between Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia, but it's like inverted. Like if you're running, say you're running along a wall this way, and you want to jump this way, you have to push your left stick towards the wall and hit A. I'm used to basically, if I want to jump right when I'm wall running, hold the right on the stick and jump A. And there would be a lot of times when I would be basically trying to do a platforming sequence, like climbing up or climbing down and whatnot, and I would screw that up and follow my death or whatnot. and this game has really poor checkpoints, so that got annoying real quick. It also has the habit of too, like later on there's a lot of open platforming areas. There's no like buffer, like Enslaved would have buffers, you wouldn't walk off a cliff. This game you would easily walk off a cliff, and the problem is the enemies have a habit of juggling you, so they could juggle you off a cliff, or if you're doing a combo, you might combo yourself off the cliff and die, and once again I mentioned the checkpoints are horrible, so you would have to do that over again. That just got real annoying real quick. The problem is the game just, the overall combat itself just wasn't fun. It didn't feel action-packed whatsoever. It was very much like, do this, do that. Okay, now I go wait for my energies to fill up so I can use my special attack to take out these guys because only certain moves work on them. Like I mentioned, I didn't really like the forced camera. The environment themselves and just the overall game seemed empty and vacant. I don't know if that's just, that's what, it's a computer and whatnot, but I just didn't really enjoy that. Everything just felt like empty and not compelling. The story itself, which is supposed to bridge the two movies, was very uninteresting and not very compelling. Things don't get really even partially explained. I mean, you kind of get the gist of what's going on. A huge disappointment for me was the light cycle parts, in which case it's like hold right trigger to accelerate, and I didn't feel like it was accelerating. You don't hear like the engine rev up, and a cool part of the game, which would have been awesome, like light cycle battles or anything, just don't really happen. Usually light cycles kind of just to go down one solid path to get from point A to point B. You don't really fight that many enemies with the light cycles, which I thought was just really disappointing. And I mean, the combat, I forgot to mention before, has an auto lock system, which sucks half the time, and you'll try to use your special ability, and you'll just use it, but you'll lose the lock on, so you'll just use your ability. It won't hit anything, and you have to wait for that to recharge, or try to recharge it. And it was just real annoying. Just overall combat was more of a battle of attrition than anything else, and that's just not fun whatsoever. But really did enjoy the game, and honestly, I'm not really looking forward to the movie, and I might not go see the movie now. But other than that, as always, I like to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully now that's kind of my last kind of run through of these quick rapid fire reviews real quick. Hopefully, with a little luck, I'll be playing some Wii games soon. There's basically there's the Donkey Kong game, the Kirby's Epic Yarn, Epic Mickey. I mentioned Donkey Kong, Metroid Other M. There's another game that's still on the tip of my tongue. I keep forgetting that I want to play on the Wii. Epic Mickey, Epic Yarn, Donkey Kong, Metroid Other M. Oh, and Mario Galaxy 2. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Mario Galaxy series, I still want to play them on the Wii. So maybe I'll be doing that very soon. Right now I'm kind of relaxing and probably watching Scott Pilgrim and its multiple commentaries. So as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.